Okay guys, so just a little video today, not nearly as long as my normal ones. It's a little bit, when I say I'm not a mechanic, this is an example of it. So there's a massive advantage to acquired knowledge, I can tell you. So I'm after spending maybe a half an hour on the first one of these and maybe 5 minutes on the second one. So that'll just give you an idea. This is the bushing on the back of the rear hub. Now it actually isn't really a bushing, or well maybe it is, but it's got a pivot point in the middle. So that's the first one I did. And you can see a lot of kind of banging marks on that. Good bench vise is a necessity for this because you will not fit it into a press. Maybe one of those massive presses and you can build a kind of a jig out of wood blocks or something, but for the most part you will not do it. So what I did was I had to take apart the entire handbrake assembly, removing everything like that, so that the tray could move, the backing plate. That meant I was able to spin it around, I was able to clamp onto different areas. So this arm here, but then I found I didn't want to be banging too much on that because you'd end up getting a crack because it's only cast. So I ended up managing to get a good clamp on this. The first one, I must have clamped 100 times on all different surfaces, everything like that, bashing away with the air chisel, banging away at it, separated it, managed to pull the rubber part off the boot, then take the center out of that, and then ended up with, so that was this part came out, all those bits. Hold on, and that's what I mean by a pivot point, by the way. It seems to have a ball. It's actually a ball joint. So I wonder, I haven't checked the kit that I have if this is in it. It won't be a ball joint, obviously. It'll be a poly bushing. I don't see the real purpose of having that slight of an adjustment back there, but then Mercedes know a lot more than I do. This is what this whole video is about. It's about acquired knowledge. Well, they have major acquired knowledge. So anyway, yeah, that's the pivot point there. So I banged that out of the center. Then I was left with a ring like this inside it. When you're looking at this and it's all covered in rust, let me just see if I can focus. That upper lip that you're seeing here, you don't know if that is part of the knuckle or is it part of the bushing. So you're banging away anyway. I ended up spending ages on this, and got the body saw out inside and started cutting lines, so you can see the line that side. And there should be a line, yeah, there's a line just there. So that one didn't make it the whole way through. Neither of them actually made it the whole way through because you're afraid when you're doing it, because it's all rusted, you're afraid of going into the knuckle and not knowing where the end of the knuckle is. So anyway, that is the wrong way to do the job. Alright, this is what I'm talking about. So once I had this out, I could see exactly what the next one would be like. Stripped it apart in a couple of minutes. Got a size 30 mil socket, got this nice and clamped down, placed it on here. It just fits in perfect. You can actually feel, you can hear and you can see that it has an interference, so that's perfect. That's the perfect fit. So screw that, because it won't fit. You have to screw it over the rubber bushing, a rubber cap, and you get it onto it in the vise, and then you get yourself a huge weight of a hammer. I don't know what the weight is, 4-pound hammer, and you stand back and you hockey into it, and I mean really hockey into it. And once you start, you'll have maybe 5 or 6 good real solid hits before you see any movement, and once it starts to move you can then start just tapping it, but using the weight of the 4-pound, and it'll just come out that way. So the second one, that's the first one with all my messing and my half an hour, or it could even be longer than half an hour bashing away at it, and that's the second one.
Daddy.
With the mallet. That's my daughter asking to be included in the video. But anyway, that gives you an idea of how acquired knowledge, knowing what the bushing should be like out of the knuckle, really helps, because that I wouldn't have seen that as it, if you know what I mean, with all the rust and everything like that. You can't see where the seams and the lines are properly. But once one is out, you know exactly what you're doing, and the second one comes out really, really easily. So anyway, guys, just a little bit on acquired knowledge, and my daughter's going to help me do all the rest of the work. All right, talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.